everyone! Today I'm going to show you two unique search tools that are available on Gale Literature Resource Center. And those are the person search and the work search. And you can find both of these on the navigation bar that's down here. Let's do person search first. Let's go. So person search is really good for if you know an author or a writer or any that you're looking for. You can just put the name down here and you can find a whole bunch of information on that author. Or if you sort of know the type of author you're looking for, but not necessarily an individual, and you want to find an author that either is a certain ethnicity or writes a certain type of literature, you can use all of these limiters in order to get generated a list of authors and writers that would match your criteria. So just the basic person search, let's try doing something simple. So we'll know the name of the person. We're going to look for Maya Angelou. So let's look for Maya Angelou. And she is the only person with that name in the database. So here she is. It only comes up with one name. It shows the year of birth, year of death, her nationality, and how many results are attached to her name in the system. So let's click on that. And it brings us to a results page. There's a whole lot of different things you can break up the search by. This right now, it defaults to literary criticism, but you can, if you're looking for biographies, go to biographies. And she's very famous, so she has 10 biographies all written by her. So you can see when they were written, how long they are, and who wrote them. And you can choose one and read all about Maya Angelou. So there's that. And we can go back to results. You can look through any of these other topics, or you can filter your results now to name of the work. So these are a lot of the works that she's written. So let's say we only wanted to look for I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. So let's do that. Apply. And now we've only got 4 biographies that mention that particular work and 40 literary criticisms that mention I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. So that's one way to use it. We can go back. Let's go back from up here. Let's go back to person search. Let's say we don't know the name, but maybe we want to look for more authors or writers or poets who are like Maya Angelou. So let's go down here and try our search limiters. You can do it through ethnicity, and they have a long list here. Although here it's all mostly American except for French Canadian. So if you're not looking for an American, you wouldn't need this particular one. Let's say African American here. Gender, we're looking for female. They have more than just female and male gender identities here, but right now we're just looking for female. If you wanted to look for someone who specifically identifies with the LGBTQ community, you can click this here. Unclicking it doesn't mean that they will be excluded, but just that clicking it means that everybody will be in that category. We don't want that right now. Nationality, you can choose any one of these if it's someone who's not from America, or even if it's someone from America, you can choose that. But we've already chosen African American, so we might not need that. Let's say occupation is poet, and there's predictive text there. Genre, what kind of poetry? Let's say political poetry. And here, it actually suggested it for me, so let's do that. Political poetry. Literary movement, that's pretty specific. Let's skip that for now. Subject or theme, let's say racism. And there's all of these other things that can go with it, but right now we're going to be more general, we'll say racism. From what century is your person? I'm going to say 21st, 20th, yeah, I think the 20th century and the 21st century, the 1900s and the 2000s. These are better for if you know the date of birth or the date of death of the actual person you're looking for. Same here, but right now we don't know the actual name. We're looking for a list. So let's do search. Ooh, and we get 17 names. So 17 different poets who would be similar. Let's try Audre Lorde. And it gives you all the same information. And now we found biographies, literary criticisms, all these things for Audre Lorde. So those are a couple of ways that you can use person search. Let's now try, go all the way back up here, let's do work search. So work search is good for if you know a very specific work that you want to find information about, either be reviews or biographies of the authors or literary criticisms, you can search here. So let's say we have an assignment on the bell jar. You can search that here. And we get three things that come up. There's either the novel, it'll tell you that in little parentheses, a poem based on reading the bell jar, and then The Soul in the Bell Jar, which is a short story. And it shows you all of the authors. And look, this one looks familiar, Sylvia Plath. So, oh, okay, now I remember. This is the one that I'm looking for. It's a novel, and it has 42 results attached to it. So we can click on that, and then, of course, we get to the same type of results page. You can find all of this different literary criticism for the bell jar and biographies of Sylvia Plath, the author, overviews, reviews. There is a primary source here, but it's a poem and not the novel we're looking for, so might not need that so much. Let's go back to work search. And let's say that maybe we don't know a specific work that we're looking for, but we're looking more generally for something. That's when we go down here to the search limiters. So if you want to limit it to full text or work available, because Gale Literature Resource Center has some primary source works that are available in full text. A lot of times it's poems or short stories and things like that. And usually they're older and they don't have copyright. If you want to find that because you need to actually read whatever work, you can click on this. It's not guaranteed that they will have it, but if they do, it'll show up here. So let's not do that for now, just in case. And we'll see type of work. Is it an artwork, an autobiography? They have a whole bunch of different types of things. So let's say we're looking for Edgar Allan Poe's poetry. So if we're doing that, then we're going to go down, 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 down to poem, or maybe even poetry collection. So we're covering all our bases here. Author, we're going to do Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, and it's doing last name first and then first name. So Poe, Edgar Allan, that's what we're looking for. We're going to click on him. Publication year, it could be various years, so that's if you know the exact year. Century, I know that he was from the 19th century, but we'll also do this just to cover bases in case there's any literature about his poetry that was published more recently. And we want it to be in English, and we know that his stuff is in English. This just might not be necessary, but you can always limit it to there anyway. And we know that Edgar Allan Poe is a male. And let's just search and see what we find. Okay, so we found 15 works with all of these applied filters. And the author, if you go all the way down, Edgar Allan Poe wrote all of them. We have mostly poems, but look, we do have one poetry collection here. And so that's how you can find a big list of other poems. And maybe we were looking for, oh, look, The Raven. Found it. So that's a cool poem. Click on that. We don't have the full text for this here, but we do have literary criticisms for it, and overviews and biographies, and the same sort of organization that it is for all of the other works. So that is how we do person search and how we do work search.